Peace, y'all. What's going on? It's your boy Rashawn, aka Looker. Yes, I'm here. This is Space Invaders TV, and today is January the 14th, 2021. Welcome you all. If you're new to the page, or should I say new to the channel, hit the subscribe button, hit the notification bell, tell a friend to tell a friend, so you'll know, you hit that notification bell, because if you just subscribe, but if you hit that notification bell to the right of the subscribe, then every time I post something, you'll get that alert. From our returning subscribers, welcome back. Happy New Year again. Peace and blessings to you all. But so today what we're going to talk about, we're going to talk about Flint, Michigan. Remember the water crisis 2014, 2015? Well, the former governor, Rick Snyder, is being charged now. Him and him and a health official, his health director and other officials are now being brought up on charges. And Rick Snyder has been out of office for two years now. He's a former governor of Michigan. He was in office at the time when the water crisis happened. And they switched over. And actually what happened, just to bring you up to speed on that, if you don't remember what happened back then, or you do know what happened, they were switching the water line. They were switching over. It said something about something with the pipes. The pipes were bad, and they were switching it over. So they switched over, and I was reading something, and it said they got switched over to Lake Huron or whatever. But when they switched the water over, they didn't treat the water. So residents of Flint, Michigan they were getting sick. You had lead in the water. And the governor at the time, that is now being charged, Rick Snyder, he knew of this and didn't say anything about it. So it's just crazy. I'm gonna walk y'all through a little bit. And so now, that's going on. He's brought up on charges. In the end of last year, December of 2020, it's been a suit was put in motion. $641 million deal settled. I guess you want to call. I guess that's, from what it's saying to me, like a class action lawsuit, I presume. So the residents of in the city of Flint, I guess, will get awarded that money. Any that was, any of the residents that were affected by that, I would presume, like, if they were actually affected by the situation, they'll be part of that class action lawsuit, or maybe the whole city, just everybody in the city, but it's just a shame, because you got children, man, and babies and everything, children that could have been affected, could have messed with their brain, it could have caused defects with them, and people, period. Is a whole system that you have to do when you for us the water, to purify, to clean the water. There's a whole system you have to, a treatment that you have to do to the water before it's drinkable, and before anyone should use the water period on their bodies or anything. You have to make sure that water is treated. You know, it's parasites and all types of stuff, man. You know, so yeah, I'm gonna get y'all to speed. So Snyder, a Republican, Rick Snyder, a Republican who has been out of office for 2 years, was the governor when state-appointed managers in Flint switched the city's water to the Flint River in 2014 as a cost-saving step while a pipeline was being built to Lake Huron. Okay, so that's what it was. The pipeline was being built to Lake Huron. And they were switching it. Okay. So when they did that, when they switched that water, when they switched their lines over, they were supposed to make sure that water was treated. They're supposed to make sure that water was treated. How do you switch over and you don't do that? The water, however, was not treated to reduce corrosion, a disastrous decision formed by state regulators that caused lead to leach from old pipes and spoil the distribution system used by nearly 100,000 residents. Snyder's attorney, Brian Lennon, released a blistering statement Tuesday saying a criminal prosecution would be outrageous. He said state prosecutors have refused to ship. I ain't even going to read that. He said it would be outrageous. You know, see that right there? Like, this is the same behavior of people, man, narcissists, people, and people that just not in tune with anything and just don't care about other people's beings, other people's life. If you take an office, as far as with being a governor, a mayor, the president, when you take those offices, man, and you are overseeing a city, a state, a country, it's your responsibility, man. And if anything goes wrong on your watch, you held responsible for it. Now, the repercussions, you can't control what you can't say what's gonna happen at that point when if you were in charge and something went wrong on your watch, you can't say how it should play out at that point because you had dropped the ball. So the ball is no longer in your court. You have no control of what happens now. You know what I'm saying? You can say what you want to say, but for someone to not want to be accountable for their actions or anything is just crazy. You see that right there. That is a big no-no. How could you not, in any of the health officials around any other state, any other of Rick Snyder's partners or anything like that, or how could anybody just not say anything about that and just let that go on and just act like sweep that under the rug? How? And then when it becomes a national thing, now you want to play the victim. You have 100,000 people lives in jeopardy. You put people lives in jeopardy, lives in danger. The children, man, and out of them 100,000 people are innocent children too, man. Newborns, babies, man. People had to bathe their children in that water. What would the senior citizens do? You got seniors got to use that water. Everybody has to use that water, You know, you left the people hanging out to dry like that, Rick. And your lawyer's talking about it would be outrageous to bring charges. That's just amazing, man. It's just the same thing, even what's going on around with the country. When you got somebody like Trump, he calls that situation. He spewed that hatred. He spoke that language his whole time in the office. He told those people to go march. Those people follow him because of his hatred, because he hadn't done anything for them. He hadn't even done anything for this country. Like, he haven't showed any leadership for this country. Only thing Trump had showed for this country was he talked hatred to his base, to the ignorant people who followed him, because that's ignorance. And now that they got caught, nobody wants to take the blame for it. You hear these people crying wolf, copping pleas now. No, you're gonna have to sit with that. Nobody cares if your daddy is a lawyer or your daddy's a judge. Nobody cares. Nobody cares that you're a vegan. You hearing people. Hear one guy's mother said he's a vegan. He can't. No, you think they give a hell about that lady? This is how blown in the head these people are. They stormed that Capitol building. Whether they just thought they was gonna scare people, they were just gonna scare them and then turn it over the votes just because they were outnumbered. No, you had to be a fool. Then on top of that, you had Trump just not wanting to take ownership in none of this. When you caused it, man. But if you follow me early on when I said like people like Trump, people like him will get things started. They'll start a riot and a fight, and they'll walk off, and they'll leave their followers to the mess, and then they'll just watch the catastrophe from afar. Excuse me. Then they'll just watch the catastrophe from afar. So you have this guy Rick Snyder here, Flint, Michigan, and he's talking about his lawyers talking about it'll be outrageous to charge him. No, it won't be outrageous. It'd be smart for them to do. It's time that you just start doing what's right. You can't want to charge the citizens for when the citizens do something wrong, and then these government officials or whatever just get away with murder, because that's what that was. Rick Snyder, that was murder. You and your people, nobody around you. You know what? You probably went home, and you probably didn't even live. You didn't live in Flint. You went home to the city you resided in, because I didn't look into you where you lived at and all of that. You know what I mean? Because it ain't about. It's about you, justice being served on you and your counterparts. Rick Snyder, justice being served in the name of the people of Flint. Okay? Because that was dead wrong. There was taxpaying citizens there. I keep hearing and reading, and they want to keep saying, "Oh, the poor black people." Fuck that shit. It don't matter. That city was up and running. Those people, the people of Flint wasn't that damn poor. The city been up and running. They paying taxes. They ain't that damn poor. Okay, so they scrap that tagline on the people of Flint, Michigan. Okay, those are humans. Those are tax-paying citizens. Those are citizens of this country, and they were done wrongly by a jackass named Rick. What is this motherfucker? Rick Snyder. you know, done poorly, poor service. He's a public servant, and you have gave poor service to the people. Rick, you and your health director and everyone else that worked under you and had something to do with that whole water situation. So the disaster made Flint a nationwide symbol of governmental mismanagement, with residents lining up for bottled water and parents fearing that their children had suffered permanent harm. Lead can damage the brain and nervous system, cause learning and behavior problems. The crisis was highlighted as an example of environmental injustice and racism. And Rick, you don't think no charges should be brought up on you, man? I mean, people make mistakes. We make mistakes, we human. But that's not a mistake. That's purposely done. At the same time, bacteria in the water was blamed for an outbreak of Legionnairers. Legionella bacteria can emerge through misting and cooling systems, triggering a severe form of pneumonia, especially in people with weakened immune systems. Authorities counted at least 90 cases in Genesee County, including 12 deaths. The outbreak was announced by Snyder and Lyons in January of 2016, although Lyons conceded that he knew that cases were being reported many months earlier. So you tell me what's the problem here? You knew about this. Y'all knew about this before y'all reported it, but once it got too out of hand, y'all couldn't control it. Y'all couldn't keep it hush because now the numbers were rising. So if the numbers would have stayed at a lower, y'all wouldn't have said nothing. But it was rising. Y'all had to say something. Thought you would say something before you could clear your name, and thought you can just walk smooth away from that, huh? You Snyder, you and Lyons, lion asses. That's what y'all are. And so you figure, pneumonia, man. The senior citizens, man. With the older you get, you know what I'm saying. And when they get up there in age, their immune systems are not as strong. So you imagine the senior citizens, man, that were lost in this situation. Family members lost grandmoms and moms and aunties, great aunties and stuff like that, lost in that situation because of you. You snake. Rick Snyder, you know, people are amazing to me, man. People are amazing to me. In 2018, Lyons was ordered to stand trial on involuntary manslaughter charges after a special prosecutor accused him of failing to timely inform the public about the outbreak. His attorney argued there wasn't enough solid information to share earlier. But wait a minute, let's stop right there. Hold up. He said his attorney argued there wasn't enough solid information to share earlier. Did I just read that line right? So hold on, I'm going to read back that again. Hold on. In 2018, Lyons was ordered to stand trial on involuntary manslaughter charges after a special prosecutor accused him of failing to timely inform the public about the outbreak. His attorney argued there wasn't enough solid information to share earlier. So, he's saying there wasn't enough solid information to share earlier about the outbreak to the public? You shouldn't have said nothing to the public? I think when you seen first of all, y'all knew y'all didn't do what y'all was supposed to do. Treat that water. First of all, y'all knew that water should have been treated. And if you didn't know, that's definitely a no-no. And if ain't nobody else around, didn't know that was in that circle. The health director. You didn't have an assistant. Nobody told you, hey, the governor. What about the assistant governor? Like nobody knew. Like, hey, we should change this. No state officials. None of the state officials knew that was wrong. What about the city, mayor? Nobody knew that this was wrong. Like, nobody said anything. Wow. Okay. The decision didn't affect 7 people who had already pleaded no contest to misdemeanor. They cooperated with investigators and their records were eventually scrubbed clean. So 7 people cooperated and gave up the information that the state needed. So they walked, you know. They snitched, as they say. When the Flint Water Crisis hit, he wasn't assigned by Governor Snyder to go to Flint, but rather he raised his hand and volunteered, Levine said of Baird. A resident, Edna Sabaco, 61, says she still uses water filters, although the lead service line at her home of 40 plus years has been replaced, along with more than 9,700 others in Flint. He swept things under the rug, in my opinion, and to me that makes him just as guilty as everybody else, because he should have come out singing like a canary, Sabaco said of Snyder. Separately, the state, Flint, a hospital, and an engineer firm have agreed to a $641 million settlement with residents over the water crisis. With $600 million coming from Michigan, a judge is considering whether to grant preliminary approval. Yeah, so this is from Associated Press. Yeah, different reporters on this from Detroit, Lansing, and Traverse City. They contributed to this story. So it's a collaborative effort on this story that Associated Press put out here. So so Flint is getting awarded the $641 million. The residents of Flint will be getting awarded. I guess it was a settlement, a civil suit. I would presume here. It's not saying that, but that's what $641 million settlement with residents of the. I don't want to read that, but I'm going to read that because it's funny here how people try to the way people try to word things. And this is on PBS. Okay, this is PBS website. Okay, so it says Flint, Michigan. The Flint City Council tonight signed off on its portion of a $641 million settlement with residents of the poor, majority black city who were exposed to lead-tainted water. Now, why does that need to be in there? Why does it matter if the people are poor? Why does that have to be in there, PBS? Why did that have to be? Why? This was posted December 22nd, 2020 at 2:55 p.m. The title of this is Flint joins $641 million deal to settle lawsuit over lead and water. PBS, why that line had to be in there? That word rather, not the line. That word. $641 million settlement with residents of the poor and majority black city who were exposed to lead-tainted water. Why does that poor matter? People were affected by that. It don't matter their status. People were done wrong and affected by that. Their status don't matter. You're PBS. Come on, man. Come on, man. Man, prayers go up to the residents of Flint, Michigan. Black lives been always mattered, and it matters. But I'm pretty sure it's more than just there's other races in Flint, Michigan that were affected by this issue as well. So it doesn't matter about the social class, even though we know okay, if that's if that is the majority there, then we understand that's why they didn't care, okay? But at the end of the day, that's not the focus. The focus is that it was some people were done wrong, unjust, murdered. That was premeditated. He done that on purpose, and didn't even try to clean it up and fix it. You could have tried to do something to mix it up, but you just let it keep going. And I got a soft heart for children, man. So when I think about that thing too, man, children and senior citizens, man. You think about somebody bathing their newborn child, not knowing that this water is contaminated. And I'm pretty sure, like the residents around the city, I'm pretty sure it was talk around the city that the water was contaminated. I'm pretty sure it was some people that probably said, I ain't fucking with that water. I don't fuck with that water anyway. You know what I'm saying? So I'm pretty sure that, you had some folks that was already up on it. But we got to think about the folks that probably weren't up on it or didn't have no choice. You know what I'm saying? And they had to do what they had to do. You know what I mean? Maybe someone had to, maybe try to boil the water and, do the best they can. But at the end of the day, you still got to bathe and, but it's just sad, and I hope that Rick Snyder and the health director of the state and everybody else that was up under that governor, up under Rick Snyder, I hope you all get brought up on criminal charges, and I hope they all stick. And I hope you sit down somewhere and think about what you've done. You see, a lot of people don't want it. They want those top. They want to be the boss. They want to be the man in charge. But they don't want to take the charge when they've done wrong. They don't want to take accountability. Everybody wants the glitter and the gold and they wants the parade. They want the parade, but they don't want to clean up the shit after the parade. You know what I'm saying? They don't want to clean up after the parade though. After the party, they don't want to clean up after the party. They just want to go home. They don't want to help out and clean up. Yeah, but they'll let you throw them a party and everything. They want you to show them all the love. While all they do is grin and give fake grins and soft handshakes. You know what I'm saying? Hey man, like I said, peace and blessings to the good people of Flint, Michigan, man. Prayers are with you. And it's just a situation, and I know during that time I donated and gave up as well too, water and things of that situation, man, because it was a sad situation to see, like, people in your own country is going through something like that. You know what I mean? Which is unfortunate and unreal. Like, and so you think about Katrina, the situation with Katrina, and, how families have been displaced from that situation. You know what I mean? It may have been for the good for some, But for others, it wasn't for the good. It hurt. It hurt a lot of families. Some families probably made out good with that. That probably was the best thing to happen for some families. But for other families, that was probably the worst thing to happen for them because the families were split up. And then you had Puerto Rico, and then we just can't even just talk about Louisiana. We got to talk about that whole Gulf Coast, the Gulf Coast area when that happened, because Mississippi got hit, parts of Texas got hit, so we can't forget about the other two states as well. I mean, it's just a sad situation, man. And that's you even got to think about the seaside, the beach down in Jersey. You know what I'm saying? When they got hit, so these natural disasters happen, and it's like, yeah, the country, the government may see it, the government will send funds, and that's it. But it's so funny how when this situation happened, when the Capitol was raided and ramshacked, yeah, and a lot of them had to run for cover. The senators and House reps had to run for cover because their meeting got bum rushed. That they felt like they seen their life flash in front of them, but now everything now this is a big deal. When this I mean, tragedy's been going on the whole damn time. Y'all didn't act like this. Y'all didn't have this much of a damn concern or much of a urgency. It didn't seem when any of the other catastrophe was going on. So it's just amazing to sit back and watch that situation right now, and all you can do is just watch and see what happened. And because right now, in the United States, what happened with that situation, it's just like they've been embarrassed in front of the whole world, not just the country, in front of the world, has been able to sit back and see that these people climbing up the building, they bum rushed the building, that a sacred building that nobody was, even the general public was not allowed in that building. You know what I'm saying? Not allowed in there. And these people were in there taking pictures, feet on desks, taking mail, taking sculptures or whatever, beating guards. I mean, climbing walls like freaking Spider-Man, and animals and then the bad thing about that whole situation is you had a lot of, you had some ex-military. I mean, you had all types, all walks, all people from different backgrounds. That's was the funniest thing. It's like, you people, some of you people should have definitely knew better. But they thought it was a game. They thought that, I mean, the way I looked at it, they thought it was a game until the real come down and they seen that the federal agents swoop down on their ass before they can even make it home good. They probably didn't even make it home and close their eyes to go to bed that good, and the federal agents was knocking on their damn door. That's how ignorant these people were, man. That they showing their faces. People are taking photo ops. They're live streaming on their own social medias. I mean, this was like grown people, grown bodies with kid mentalities. They just ran up in there with no real mission, because you actually thought you were going to get them they were just going to overturn something. It's already etched in stone. It was already done. He's already won. It was in there. All they was doing was finalizing the deal when y'all ran up in the building. They were just making it official, putting a stamp on it. But it was already done. signed and delivered. And you going in there making a mockery of yourself, and they're fighting for somebody that don't give a care about them at all. They don't even understand how Trump played them. He used them. He didn't have no type of. He didn't have no direction in his running for president. He didn't have no type of base. He had to find. So when he found the base, the only base that appealed to him was that base right there, the ignorant. So he ran with it, and he used them. But what he found out was, it ain't enough of them, Trump, to get you back in the office. You see, it ain't enough of them. There's more people that's with level heads that ain't with the BS no more. They don't want to keep turning on the TV seeing you and your shenanigans anymore. They're tired of you. So it ain't enough. It ain't enough of that ignorant base you got. It ain't enough of them. So, yeah, so there you have it. You out of here. Sorry. You know, they saying second impeachment or whatever. Man, I thought they should just let him ride out, and hey, once he get up on that chopper and they land on the other side, they gonna snatch his ass up anyway. You know what I'm saying? Let's not forget, he got some charges. Let's not forget stuff that a lot of y'all don't forgot about. But you got another country waiting on his ass. So hey, listen, I ain't even gonna go back down that line. But yo, I just peace and blessings go out to Flint, Michigan, and I hope this whole situation gets eradicated. I hope that it gets cleaned up. I'm gonna read one more thing before closing out here. There was something they were talking about the EPA. Let's see here. EPA allowing more time to fix. Okay. Okay. Yeah, Trump done did something stupid. I was reading something. They were talking about the EPA allowing more time to fix lead tainted water. So what they were saying is, in this thing is, Trump overhauled the country's widely criticized 20-year-old framework to eliminate toxic lead from drinking water on Tuesday, but critics charged that the new rule gives utilities far more time than before to finally replace old lead-contaminated pipes. Yeah, so Trump did something stupid, signing off on some bill last year, and but all it's doing is giving them more time so they can actually take their freaking time with fixing it instead of speeding up the process. You know what I mean? So you're giving these people more time and they're just moving at a snail's pace. And so they're talking and they're like, so with a situation like with Flint situation, so with Trump signing off on something like that last year, basically giving more time to fix those situations. So you looking at somebody like Flint, Michigan, like it could take eons before they get their pipes dealt with. You know what I mean? So, but as I said, and the EPA is the Environmental Protection Agency. That's the EPA, Environmental Protection Agency. So, like I said, peace and blessing to the people of Flint. And I hope that Rick Snyder, I hope that they give you the time that you so deserve, because that you done that knowingly to those good people of Flint, Michigan. Those people didn't deserve that at all. Those were American citizens. Those were citizens of your state. And this is how you treat them. Yeah, everybody involved with that situation. Yeah, you can throw money at a lot of situations, but you can throw money at things, but you know what? That ain't gonna be enough to bring some family members that was lost in that situation. That's not gonna bring them back. Okay, they could have still been here. Some of those family members could have still been here if not for that situation. People would catch pneumonia from that, lead in the water, all types of parasites. You know what I'm saying? From careless act, a knowingly careless act. That's one. It'd be one thing if you don't know and do a careless act, but knowingly careless act. And your lawyer, Rick Snyder, says it'll be outrageous to charge you with manslaughter. No, that's what you should get in all your little peons that were up under you. They all should get it. Yeah. But I'm your boy Rashawn, man. Peace and blessings to you all. This is another edition of Space Invaders TV. Make sure you subscribe if this is your first time coming to the channel. And tell a friend, tell a friend. Hit that notification bell right next to the subscription. And make sure you tell a friend and tell a friend. Make sure you can also check us out. I got apparel for the kids. I'm also going to start doing for the adults. I have a kid line, my daughter, line I created for my daughter called Space Invaders. Make sure you check us out. Our website is Space Invaders, SPYCEINVADERZ .wixsite.com/Space Invaders space invaders. I'm gonna make sure I put that at the end of this anyway. But yo, peace and blessings, y'all. I'm your dude Rashawn, and I'm out.